All right. I'm just checking sound. Yeah.
Yay!
Oh my gosh. Next big thing is we need some intro music.
We do. Like a nice little
Nice little
vibraphone or
jingle.
something.
Nice
Yeah.
little fawny jingle.
A little jazzy something.
Hello, 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 everybody. Lots of familiar names, and I saw a few people said this is their first Create with Us, so welcome.
Yay, we're so glad you guys are here. We're gonna have so much fun.
Yay. Awesome. Well, I'm Jen Shirkus, and I'm here with Kelly Marie, who needs no introduction. I just thought I would just do a quick explanation of what Create With Us is in case you've stumbled across this video. Maybe the YouTube algorithms are in our favor tonight. But basically, we host these free mini classes throughout the year. We always announce the details of them on a lawnfawn release day. So the last lawnfawn release day was in the middle of April.
Yeah, it was April 17th.
Thank you. um, and so on April 17th, right away on the Create With Us page on Lawnfawn's website, which is written below in the grass here, we shared a downloadable handout. Again, all of this is free. And in that downloadable handout, you see the cards that we're going to create. It also gives you a little bit of homework if you do want to create along with us. And it also gives you coloring guides that we are going to follow tonight. So it's a really fun way to get together. Honestly, this started a few years ago. Kelly Marie and I wanted to get together and craft. And we thought, why not invite all of you to join us? So not only do we create a couple cards, but we also have some fun crafty chat. Kelly Marie sometimes gives us a little bit of secrets. And I was sharing on my Instagram stories today, we are using the brand new backyard bird feeder stamp set from Lawnfawn, which is just adorable. I love it so much. But I just said, I'm like, if you don't have that stamp set yet, grab some birds, find some birds, flip through your
Something that
stamps,
flies.
find some birds, and you can create along with us no matter what. So yay, thank you guys for joining us on a Tuesday night. Oh, and I just also wanted to quickly say we do change the day of the week and the time. And I mean, we try to change it up because we have people from all over the world that want to join us. And then we also change it up because we have two very busy schedules.
Yes. Two busy schedules, opposite coasts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my little guy. So it's but it's nice because every time we do it at a different time. I don't know if we've ever done a Tuesday, but we get new people.
Yeah.
Which is amazing because sometimes a Tuesday evening is perfect for someone. So we really appreciate all you guys that are here and the fact that this recording will be available later. So even if you join us for a little bit but want to finish up later, this will be available after the class too.
Yeah, that's a great reminder. If you're enabled and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to make those cards, you can purchase those the stamp sets when it works in your crafty budget, and you can always come back to this. And if you're new to Create With Us, you can even find all of the replays and all of the downloads of the downloadable handouts. Shari and Rebecca are in the chat. Shari's made a whole playlist of all the Create With Us videos. So that's a huge resource. If you are a Lawnfawn fan, you're going to find lots of inspiration for you to be able to help make some cards.
I just had to go back to one because I love the way you color strawberries. And so I went back, what is that, like 2.5 years? I had to go into the archive page and I went to find the handout because I was like, I needed to remember which is art. Now I know R29,
R35, R29.
Yeah. And no, it's not like the typical, and I couldn't remember, but I was able to go back myself and find them. So they're awesome. So even if it's fun. Like, if you were like, oh, I always wanted the very special stamp set and I'm going to get it for myself for Mother's Day or something like that, then you could still go back and get the handout from a class that was 2 years ago.
Yeah. And if you're new to Create With Us and you didn't know about them, definitely go back and look because there's been so many sets that we've featured. You might already own stamp sets that we've done a Create With Us for. So
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're super fun.
Awesome. Well, I am going to flip the screen. So you guys are going to be
Okay.
seeing my hands all night, but you'll still see Kelly and I on screen. And Kelly's going to create along with us. And we're just going to start chit-chatting. And before you know it, we're going to have 2 fabulous cards. Warning, if I flip my screen and my camera's backwards, I'll quickly fix that. I'm just warning you. Oh, okay. It looked backwards on my little preview screen. So, okay.
And someone's saying, was the berry class the first create with us? It was actually the bubbles one, I believe, right, Jen?
Yeah, it was the bubbles class that was the first create with us that we did together. I don't know why I remember that. Usually my memory is not that good. But it is.
Because it was like COVID era, like that set was our like, you know.
Well, I also know because that was in the spring, and the fall previously is when I taught my first online class. And in the spring, when we taught that class, Scrappy Chic and I saw the Paper Crafters Workshop from Canada is in the comments. They both made kits for their customers, and there were a lot of bubbles. A lot of bubbles.
Right. So many bubbles.
So many bubbles.
So many bubbles.
So I'm going to be coloring with Copic markers tonight. I always share the swatches of the colors I'm going to be using. If you hang out with me a lot and take a lot of classes with me, these are some different colors for me. So you might have been able to buy a new marker or 2. But if you have a different coloring medium, that's totally okay. I do the swatches, so maybe if you want to stay with this color palette, you can find similar colors to work with. And then these are the coloring guides. These are the actual coloring guides, but this is what you will find in the downloadable handout. And this is what I am going to follow along with tonight. We're also going to be using 2 distress watercolor pencils from set 3, was it? Yeah, set 3.
Yeah, set 3.
Peacock feathers, which nobody will be surprised when you see how short my peacock feathers pencil is. And rustic wilderness. I just have mine all in rainbow order, so that's why they're in 2 different cases. If you don't have distress watercolor pencils, you could use distress inks. You could use any other kind of watercoloring medium. Really, whatever works for you. All right. All right. So I thought we would just start with our branches. I always like to start with colors that are friendly and easy to blend so we can get like a nice little warm-up going on here.
Warm-up's always good.
Warm-up's always good. So I always usually go with browns or grays. So we'll start with our browns. I'm going to be using E21 and E23, fairly light brown combo for the branches. And my branches are actually going to come in at both sides of the cards. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I want to shadow the bottom of the branch. So that's why I'm going to hold them like this so that they're not both the same way. Because again, one branch is going to come in from the left side of the card and the other is going to come in from the right. And I'm going to take my E23 and I'm just going to do a thin line on the bottom of the main part of the branch and then the little parts of the branches.
Oh.
And so Rebecca is in the office with Kelly, so she might chime in and let us know of any questions. And Shari is also in the chat as lawnfawn, I believe, and Rebecca is too, answering questions. And we're just so excited you guys are here.
I know, this is so fun. I know I had to go through and find all my different stamp pieces, and I'm like ready to go. I've been coloring all day, so.
I actually haven't colored with my Copics in a while, so this is a warm-up for me. I kind of
Oh,
go through
someone's so
spurts.
good. Someone just said, "Is there a hint that there's strawberries in the next release?" There
I was
is.
waiting for it to catch on.
That's yeah, you're right. You're right. I was working on cards for our summer release that's in June today because we get to make cards for our beautiful stores early on. So we're already working on I'm working on a presentation for them. Which means I
So
get to make
fun.
cards. It's a happy day.
Yay. So I just blended out that dark line with the darker marker with my lighter brown, E21. And then once I've blended that out, I just finish coloring the branch with my light marker, but I make a point that it's only one layer. So it's nice and light and brighter than where I did the shadow. Real simple. I am down a light in my studio, so hopefully things look bright enough for you guys.
It looks good.
When I think it's actually the last Adventures in Card Making when Shari and I were together, my left light was like spazzing out. It was like blinking and flickering, and so I had to send it back, and they don't send me a new one until they get that one, and blah blah blah.
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
And my camera was flickering. I had to restart right before.
I
But
know.
it seems like it's doing okay now.
So,
Laptop, it is not your turn yet.
No, we said
right?
no.
We're not that old, laptop.
Way too new for that.
So while we have these browns out, we're going to kind of stick with the same colors and bounce around on images. I think it's a little bit easier than constantly looking for markers. So we'll work on our bird seed that's in the bird feeders next. And we are going to start, we're still using that E23 and E21. And I'm going to take the E23 and I'm just going to kind of flick it out from the left side and the right side. And don't worry about your larger open seeds. We'll deal with those later, so you can color right over them. And I'm going to go ahead and do this on both of my bird feeders. I'm guessing Shari said Jen's face is just cinematically lit for this live. Yeah, it's very. I'm being.
I
artsy.
do. It is very like. Yeah, what is that? It's like one of those when you do portrait mode and you can pick like studio light thing.
Yep, I'm being artsy over here.
I have everyone's favorite kind of lighting, which is fluorescent drop ceiling lighting.
That's the best.
Yep. That's what we're working with here at lawnfawn.
So because this is a larger image, you guys can see a little bit better my process. So I did my dark and now I'm using my light marker and I'm continuously dabbing and swiping, whatever motion that is that you do, until you don't see the line from the previous marker. And I'll go ahead and do this on the other side. And you want to work in one small area if you're using alcohol-based markers, because alcohol evaporates quickly. And if you're doing the whole length of the seeds, your alcohol is going to evaporate and you're kind of just making more work for yourself. So I work in one little area and then I move down, and I work in one little area and then I move down. So everything's blended right now, but I still have the center is white. So sticking with that light marker, I'm just going to swoop my marker one layer so I don't go over it multiple times. Now, because this is a bigger area, if you want to, while your cardstock's still wet, you could go back to your dark marker and just flick in a little bit more. Because your cardstock's still damp, I should say, not really wet. It's more blendable, I guess is my words I'm trying to say, but you don't have to work as hard, but you can build up your layers. And I think that's something we forget. You don't have to be kind of a one and done. You can kind of keep working back and forth. But the thing is we just want to make sure that center stripe stays nice and light. So I never touch that ever again with my markers. So,
and lately I've been trying to like kind of wait a second and let things dry sometimes when I feel like I don't like it. Once it dries, I do.
That's a great idea too. And that's kind of one of those things. It's like, well, Jen's telling me to keep coloring while things are wet, but I want to wait till things are dry to see how it looks. And that's kind of something that you'll get better with practice, like when to let it wait till it's dry, and when to keep working it.
I always have to like stop myself because I'm going to do too much, you know?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. What is that? Is it Coco Chanel or one of these quotes where you're supposed to like look in the mirror and take off one accessory or whatever? I need the comic version of that. Just stop, Kelly.
All right, let's see. And then we have our, we'll do more with these bird feeders, but if you are coloring ahead, I would not color in your dark seeds yet, because while your cardstock is damp, things kind of might get a little mushy. So I would let that alcohol really evaporate. So again, if you're coloring ahead, don't color those yet. But we do have our 2 little piles of bird seed. And what I did with these was just really, really simple. I added a little bit of that darker brown, the E23 at the bottom. And then I'll just blend with the E21. And again, you can color right over the open seeds. We will deal with those later.
Someone, they're saying you're lit like a glamorous 1920s movie star. I like that.
Thanks.
And then someone's asking when the next release is June 19th. And there is a new animal. Someone asked if there's a new animal. There is definitely a new animal we've never had before.
There is definitely a new animal.
It's very cute.
I had to do a lot of Googling.
Yes,
I've been practicing, but I had to become more familiar.
To practice the coloring, yeah.
There it is.
All right, so before we get to doing our dark browns, let's go ahead and do our grays on our little squirrels.
Gray
squirrels. I'm going to take out W2, W4, and W6. Just some easy, warm grays. As a little tip, if you are just starting to collect alcohol-based markers, especially in the Copic world, there's 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I would collect either just the odds or just the evens. You really, really, really don't need both of them. I know some people have full set syndrome, and it's okay if you're going to get both of them. I see you, Rebecca. I see you. But to save money in the beginning, you really don't need them all.
Yes.
Yes.
Shari has the odds. I have the evens. And when she and I teach together, the coloring guides get made with the evens, and nobody ever knows.
Yeah, and Rebecca has I do not have full set syndrome, but Rebecca does. So here at lawnfawn for really up until 2 years ago or something, we didn't have them all.
Yeah, I had them all at home, and we were bringing them back and forth, and
it was just getting complicated. But yeah,
I do not have full set syndrome. I've been coloring with them for 20 years, and I have around 100, and I don't even use them all. So
yeah, I'm the same way as you, Jen.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that. I'm type A, but I'm not full set.
I think this is the first thing you and Jen and I are like completely opposite on.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
There's some things that I'm full set syndrome on, but for some reason it's never been with my Copics. Melissa just said, not me over here looking at all 358 markers.
Same.
So we're going to just start with our little squirrel's tails. I'm using my darkest gray, the W6, and I'm just putting a little bit at the base of the tail and kind of around that curve. And then I'm going to go ahead and blend that out with W4. I was actually just thinking how perfect the timing is for this class, because the cards are so springy, which I didn't even bring them on camera for those of you that have not seen them. But here on the Cape, we finally have spring. We have all the leaves are popping. We're a little bit later than off Cape Cod in the Boston area just because of the ocean air. But we're finally, everything's popping. It's very exciting. I'm very excited.
Yay. Do you have your lilacs yet?
Almost. So, I have baby lilacs because a few of my friends gifted them to us when we moved in last year. But my friend Melissa, who always brings me lilacs on my birthday, said hers are getting very close. So I'm getting very excited.
Yay.
All right, so the tails were the W6 and the W4, and then what we're going to do on their bodies, because I wanted them to be a little bit lighter than the tails, is the W4 will become the shadow, and the W2 will become the blend. So I don't worry about light sources or what time of year or day or any of that stuff. When it comes to critters, whichever way they're looking, you want to shadow the opposite, or I like to shadow the opposite. Typically their face is a focal point, so you don't really want to shadow that. So this little guy on the left is facing the right, so I'm going to shadow the left. And then I do always shadow crevices. So I'm going to do a little bit between his legs. His back leg and back arm I'll color completely. And then the little guy that's holding the nut that's facing the left will shadow the right. Again, we'll go in between his legs, back leg and left hand completely. And then I will go ahead and blend with my W2. And when I start blending, I just do one squirrel at a time because of that whole alcohol evaporates quickly. So you just want to work, even though lawnfawn images are smaller, you still just want to work in little areas so that you just don't have to like keep resaturating cardstock. That's when sometimes you might get flooding and all the color to look like the same and not really have a good dimension.
Yeah, I'm going back in on mine with my W4. I did a little too much.
Sometimes I do that too with lighter colors like pinks and yellows and oranges. I almost always go back in and add in a little bit more dimension after blending, for sure.
I love these little gray squirrels. We have just brown squirrels around here, so I always color mine.
We do not have brown squirrels. We only have gray squirrels, and every once in a while we'll have a black squirrel.
We definitely don't have black squirrels.
Yeah, I know. But it's funny because there's this video that my son likes to watch. It's this guy that made these squirrel obstacle courses, which
fun.
is partly inspired these sets. And I have a bird feeder where the squirrels are always eating all the bird seed. And in that, I'm pretty sure he's in California, but they have this really beautiful like grayish black squirrel named Frank. And so I know. I'm like, wait, so there's one in California somewhere.
Rebecca says lilacs would be a fabulous new flower dye. I agree. That would be so pretty.
Build a flower lilacs. That'd be nice for next spring.
I would be very into
Ooh,
that.
we need to write that down.
Shari says she has white squirrels.
Oh, wow. I've seen actually by the beach sometime in the rocks, there's those really light colored squirrels. Have you seen those?
No,
like in Dana Point?
I don't really look at the squirrels.
No.
All right, let's go back to our browns. And I also we forgot to do the little siding on this birdhouse. So I'm going to grab my E23 and my E21 again. And I'm also going to grab my E59, just a nice dark brown.
Is it 59 or 29?
She said 29.
I think, but then her.
Wait, I thought it said 29.
Well, so sometimes it says 59 and sometimes it says 29, but I don't think it matters, right, Jen?
Oh, it totally doesn't matter. That's my brain not making sense. Okay. I'll even show you guys on screen. Like they're so similar. Look.
Yeah, you say here if you want to.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Libby says, Okay, I got my images stamped. Now what? All right, we'll set that really dark brown aside for just a minute because like I said, I forgot that I did not do the siding up here. And the way that I actually did this is I actually am going to start with my light color. So I'm going to take that E21, and it's like these shingles on the birdhouse. And we're just going to color it one layer with our light brown. And then I took my E23, and we're just going to go ahead and trace those shingle lines. And I kind of go underneath the line a little bit just so that we actually see that brown.
Because they have red squirrels.
I want to see that'd be pretty.
Squirrel. Yeah, that sounds cool.
And then I'm going to go back to my light brown, that E21, and I'm going to just swipe over each of those lines 3 or 4 or 5-ish times. It really just depends how juicy your marker is, honestly.
Anytime I'm like really struggling with coloring, it's because the marker's dry.
Yeah. Yep.
Her favorite
my markers need some love. They need some love. Okay. So now what we will do with our really, really dark brown, whether it's E59, E29, whatever you want, I am just going to go ahead and color in all of these open seeds. This is what's pretty cool about alcohol-based markers. This darker color will overpower that lighter color that we colored. And then I'm just gently dotting the dots that are there. And you just want to be gentle because you don't want to ruin the tips of your markers.
Meaning the dots in like that are stamped in the
seeds. Yeah, the dots in the dots. We're dotting the dots. The little seeds. And so the other fun thing, you guys, about the Create With Us classes is I typically coincide my online classes with similar supplies that we used in Create With Us. So coming up on May 17th, I'll be teaching Seeds the Day, and we'll be making more cards with the backyard bird feeder. We'll be making 3 more cards, plus you get the ideas of 2 bonus cards, and the coloring guides are almost always different. And so in that class, we're going to be coloring the birds 2 more different ways than the way we're coloring the birds tonight. So it's a nice little treat for yourself if you did purchase the stamp set and maybe you want some more ideas and some more guidance. The online class is only $20, and you can take that with me whenever you would like. I'll be live May 17th, but you can take the class whenever you would like.
It's so fun. I love that you get so many different ways to color. That way there's lots of inspiration there, depending on how you want to color. Or even if you wanted to use the coloring stencils or color, like maybe you did this class with Copics, but you want to do that class with your color pencils. You could do that too.
For sure. I mean, the coloring guides is like just a little speck of the class. Like we're making, we're doing the pull and slide. Pull and slide, right?
Surprise.
Pull and slide surprise. We're also making a shaker card with lots of different other techniques. So yeah, if you're like, I don't want to color anymore, I'm just going to use the coloring stencils. Great. You know, it's awesome.
Yeah, I like that. It's a different, you can make another card and, you know, use a new coloring guide or be inspired every which way. Ooh, someone has a good question, which is which is our favorite font from the lawnfawn sets. I'm going to grab mine because mine's an oldie but a goodie.
Ooh, I'll say what my favorite is. I bet she's going to grab the same one, maybe.
What is it?
We're actually using it in my Seeds the Day class. I'm not going to say it out loud. I'll let her grab hers.
Wait, what is that star set? I thought it was Let It Shine.
Oh.
Yeah.
She's choosing a different one than me.
Okay, which one are you choosing? I'll try to find it.
I put it on camera. I got it on camera.
Oh, you put it already.
Because I'm actually using it in class.
I don't know why I can't.
Let It Shine is not a stamp set.
Nope. What's that star? The star one. I think my lucky star's for you.
Oh!
No, Wish Upon a Star.
No, it's before that.
It's old.
You know what? We're both picking ones that are original Erica fonts.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm looking. Lucky Stars.
Lucky Stars. Oh, for goodness sakes. I can't tell if I'm just getting older or we just have a lot of stamps.
We have a lot
of stamps. We're not getting older. Don't talk about that on my birthday week.
That's true.
Because we have too many sets.
But yeah, so some fonts in lawnfawn are done by Erica, the other lawnfawn owner.
This one.
And then yeah, it's like so loved. And then some fonts aren't, but you and I both are liking the ones that are done by Erica. Here's mine.
Oh, I love that set. I love
love this set so much. It's got the cutest little sentiments. I love you to the stars and back, and that's Erica. And I just think it's so pretty.
And I love Quinn's ABCs. I know many people in the chat tonight have done a lot of classes with me, and we use this frequently. Not in every class, but we use it at least once or twice a year in classes with me. Okay, so now let's go ahead and color our leaves. And for this, I'm using a couple different greens for me. I'm using G05 and G28, and we're going to do it real simple. We're just going to color all of the leaves with our lighter green. So G05 for me, but whatever light green you want to use.
Oh, and you're coloring the whole leaf.
Yep. We're doing simple coloring. I knew we were going to be watercoloring tonight, so I kept some things pretty simple.
Sorry about that. Shari made a comment that she thinks Erica needs to make more sets like the Lucky Stars, and I think Shari needs to be the one to tell Erica that.
Yeah, someone else was mentioning that they love the Simply Sentiments sets, which are really great. And then the original ornament set, that's an original Erica font as well.
Yeah.
Ornate Ornaments. That's oldie, but a goodie.
I like that one.
Yeah. That one's retired, I believe.
It is.
All right, so now I'm going to take my G28, so my darker green, and I'm just going to do little leaf lines. At the base of the leaf, I'm just going up and just doing a little line on each little leaf. Don't worry if it looks pretty yet. We're going to fix it.
Good, because I have one that does not look good.
Yeah, mine all look wonky. And then we'll go back to our lighter green and just go over those leaf lines 1 or 2 times and just let it be. This is one of those instances where the alcohol needs to evaporate and it'll look better once it does. Looks a little intense at first, but. And this is a really simple way to add dimension to your leaves. Sometimes, when there's like a lot of leaves, I'm like, I just want to keep it simple.
I'm gonna have to yell at my dog, Mojito. She is just alert. She's got allergies. She just will not stop licking. She kept me up all night licking.
Oh, I didn't even hear her.
I think maybe how it kind of will take out some ambient sounds, but man, she's just like licking everything, licking feet, licking bum, licking everything.
I forgot. You guys might not have. I forgot to do my seeds on.
I grabbed those just before I did my little leaves here.
Yep, and I forgot my nut.
Oh yeah.
Nut? So backing up. You can do again the E23 and then the 59 or the 29. It doesn't matter. And for the little nut that the squirrel is holding, or the seed, the big seed, I just did a little the darker at the bottom. and then the lighter at the top. And it's such a little nut. Some of you are probably like, it's not necessary, but I really think you can see it. Like, it makes it look more 3D. There's a lot of times I'll let you be, but I really think the two colors look really nice on that one. And then on our piles of seeds, we'll do the same thing that we did as the seeds in the bird feeders. Sorry, guys, completely forgot. So I'm filling in the large seeds and then just gently dotting the dots. Dotting the dots.
Dot the dots.
Do you have beautiful zeros? No, you don't them.
Oh, I was using that marker earlier today.
This one over here.
Yep.
Sorry.
We're sharing too many markers over here.
Thank you. Yeah, sometimes those simple coloring techniques are the way to go. And if you are, well, let us know in the chat, or maybe Shari could put a poll up for us if she remembers how. She's probably like, oh boy. But maybe we can ask who is creating along with us tonight, and who's doing the chat, or I'll let Shari figure out how she words it. And it's okay if you're creating along, but not doing exactly what we are doing. We just want to know if you're getting crafty or you're getting chatty.
Either one is all good.
Yep. All right, so now I'm going to use the G05 again, and I'm bringing in G02, which is a little bit lighter. And what I did is I took the G05, and we have two of the grass bunches, the larger grass bunches. I'm coloring the back blades all the dark green, G05. And then I just kind of traced the right side of each blade and a little bit at the bottom. And then we'll go ahead and blend that with the G02.
You know what's so funny is that with this set, I almost always use the YGs, and this set made me want to use the Gs too.
Isn't that weird? Because I never use the Gs.
Yeah, there's something about it, something about the softer green, or I don't know.
This is why you have more markers, because you can venture out and try new colors.
Well, listen, Miss Rebecca, I still only have 100 or so markers, and I was still able to pull out some Gs. Nice.
Oh, it looks like we've got some chattings and some craftings.
Fun. And I saw Shari was able to do the poll. Thank you, Shari.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, and someone folding laundry, amazing.
Hey, if we can help you get through that laundry folding, we are here for you.
Yeah.
I'm just using the light green and coloring the leaves on the flowers. I did not. You could do the leaf technique that I shared with the tree if you want. I didn't.
This is so funny. So right before we started, I was eating, I don't know if you guys have Trader Joe's, but there's this white queso dip at Trader Joe's, and it is so good.
It's
so good. And I was eating it very quickly, and it was just like a squirrel eating a bunch of birdseed, and like there are just chip crumbs everywhere all over where I'm coloring. I keep finding more. I was like, I don't know, I gotta eat this white queso dip. It's so good.
All right, and then our little flowers, I decided to make them kind of like black-eyed Susans. So I colored the petals, just the Y35. And then the center of the flower, I just used a light brown. So I'm using that E23 again. Real simple. No shading, nothing.
Nothing crazy.
Nope. And then while we have that Y35 out, we can go ahead and color all of our beaks on our birdies.
I moved on too quickly from my Y35. I love all the different styles of birds. They're just so fun.
It's been so fun to see everybody coloring.
Oh my gosh. Christy, that Christy Gets Crafty on YouTube. She did
like
I don't know how many different ways to color the birds.
8, I think.
8 or 10 or I don't know, but
Yeah.
You gotta check it out. It's awesome.
It was awesome. I saw that. She did an amazing job. Yes, peacock feathers and rustic wilderness for the distress watercolor pencils. Oh, yay. Love watching, especially after a hard day. We're happy to be here for you. So I'm going to be using BG57, which is a different one for Jen Shirkus, BG32 and BG11. And we are going to go ahead and color our birdhouses first. Now, if you don't have 3 teals, I often only color with 2, but sometimes I like to bring in a dark color. And when you do bring in a dark color like this, I only use a very, very little bit of it. I don't want it to like overpower too much. So we can go ahead and start with, let's start with our little rectangular birdhouse. And so what I did is on the roof, I just did a very, very thin line at the bottom. This is with that BG57. And then on the 2 side panels, I did a little, on the left one, I did a little bit on the right. And on the right one, I did a little bit on the left. And then at the base of the birdhouse, I just did a very thin line at the bottom. And we'll go ahead and shadow our other birdhouse, and then we'll get to blending. Shari says they colored them like robins this past weekend. Shari was at Scrappy Chic teaching in-person classes, some stitching lawn fawn cards, which is so fun.
I saw that somebody was making graduation and teacher appreciation cards. I get to make my first teacher appreciation cards this year. It's Miles' first year at school. So I'm going to be working on those tomorrow to finish those up. And I'm going to make some, and then I'm going to have Miles make his own card too, which is so fun. And someone's asking if there's any new mice coming. There's definitely new mice in fall.
I have to look at spring. I'm so confused as to what's coming and what.
I don't think
so in summer.
Although, if you have been waiting for garden mouse to come back, you might be very happy in June.
So that's
yes. So there is some yes.
Mouse, and then
I was gonna say, Kelly, and hopefully I'm not breaking any rules, but I feel like the summer release is also gonna help you make your teacher appreciation cards.
I'm confused.
I'm trying to remember what.
I feel like there's stuff coming out that could work for that. No,
I thought that came out already. Is
it out already?
I don't know.
This is why I should just be quiet. This is why I.
No, I'm so confused as to what's in what release.
I'm starting to worry it's our age, you guys.
I'm afraid to say it because if it's not out, I don't want to break the rules. Only Kelly can tell secrets.
Well, I mean,
like this?
I was thinking of a standalone die. Oh, I guess it is already out. Not that one. I was thinking the teachers could get. You did it.
Oh yeah, that already did come out. But that would be really cute. You did it for the end of the year,
and that's already out.
Yes,
that is out. That would be super, super cute.
Oh my gosh, it's a blur. I'm so focused on like what I'm teaching with that I wasn't sure. I didn't.
Well, we're already working on fall winter. That
I know.
Yeah. When I'm like,
it's
like if you want secrets, talk to me on the side.
Because we don't know. We can't keep checking more. This is the first year we've ever done. February.
Yeah.
April and June, and so I think that's why we're confused.
Definitely.
And our trade show is also a month earlier this year, and so we're like, we don't even know what day it is.
So I just blended out with BG32 on the tall and skinny bird feeder. Now, because there's a lot of room left on the bottom here, I'm going to flick out a little bit more BG32 just to kind of bring it together. And now I'm going to finish off with BG11.
My watch is telling me to stand. Doesn't it know I'm coloring?
I just got the same.
Yep, my watch. I'm coloring. I'm busy.
I just got the same notice.
So I don't know if that happens to anyone else.
I saw Mindy is here. She says she's coloring. Libby's putting me to shame. She says she even knew what was out for long. In my defense, we didn't make any graduation cards in my 5 weeks of teaching different classes every week of lawn fawn.
Let me just tell you, I have graduation cards for everybody.
Yeah, well, Rebecca's daughter graduates next year, so
and all her friends are graduating this year. So I'm like,
so we're ready. We're ready for graduation here.
Now you need to make sure, Rebecca, that you don't lose those cards in a year.
Yeah, I know. Listen.
Oh yeah, we gotta put it
a box of graduation stuff.
Yeah, we'll just label it graduation. Do not touch.
So for our other birdhouse, this rectangular one, because all of our areas are very, very skinny, I did still use all 3 colors, but I'll just kind of show you on the roof. I'm going to just swipe my medium teal, my BG32, over that BG57. So it's thickening up that shadow a little bit. But you can see how I still have a sliver of white. That's what I'll finish off with my BG11.
All right, so we've got oh, somebody got to meet Shari this weekend. Amazing.
Yay.
There's someone's they're local, so there's no new release in May. Our next release will be in June, so we get to enjoy our beautiful bird feeders and graduation stuff
and all the graduation stuff,
and then we have a question. If there's a new tiny gift box critter, and there is a new one in June, and it would probably be pretty easy to guess what it is because it would match a lot of things we have. That's my clue.
I'm actually surprised we didn't have that one yet.
Yes. And then somebody says that we should have a standing desk to color. Absolutely not.
There are standing desks here at lawnfawn.
We do not have them. No.
I would not be able to color.
We have a counter height, so I could be standing right now. I am not, but I could be. Yeah, by the way, new color obsession, Jen. This is so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Look at this.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
This is our we gotta put it on our we have a list of our favorite weird combos.
Well, Kelly, I'll tell you, on my website I have free printables that you can keep track of your favorite Copic combos.
Oh, not on our well-used post.
So you should just print one of those out and be like, color combos I found from Jen. Put your R25, your R29.
We've got a little Post-it going on action over here.
I got Post-it and I have a little color sheet that I do.
I have a free printable, couple free printables. I think it's at BG57. It just kind of makes it a bit more regal.
I like that. It's a regal turquoise.
It's a regal turquoise. All right, now on this post, I got a little crazy, and if you've had a long day and you don't want to get a little crazy, you don't need to. But I did use all 3 colors. So I'm doing a thin line of BG57 on the left and the right. And I find it easier to pull my marker towards me. I think Kelly finds it easier to push away to do a straight line. But don't be afraid to turn your post or put your post any way you want to make that a little bit easier.
Well, that's interesting. I wonder who, how many people pull away versus pull towards?
Yeah, I pull away.
I pull towards. And then I'm going right over that with my BG32. And then I'm going to go right down that center with the BG11.
look, Shari even gave us the link for the printables. Thank you, Shari.
Instead of our Post-it, we keep adding to.
It's just cute. I think it'd be cute for you guys to have it.
It is cute. I'm like,
Yeah.
Look at that. I mean, our Post-it is kind of cute too. Just saying, but
All right, I'm gonna put my BG32 and my BG57 away, and I am pulling out BG13. I'm keeping BG11. And I'm also going to pull out my BG10. We're not using all three of these together, but just while we're switching
I'm realizing
color.
I don't think we did the glass yet. I don't know if you wanted to.
That's what we're going to do now. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Melissa says, definitely need to replace her broad tip on her BG57 sketch with a fine tip if Jen's going to be using it. Yeah, it's tricky with the super brush to do a really thin line like that. My Copic original brushes are shorter, so it's a little bit easier. All right, so for the glass on both of the bird feeders, what I like to do is I just add a little bit of BG11 on the left and the right, and I just kind of flick it out. And then I take the BG10 and just flick out from the edge. And I'm not really coloring the whole glass. I'm just kind of shadowing the left and the right.
So the middle will be white.
A little definition. Yeah.
So the middle ends up white then.
Yes, exactly. Yep. And you could just use BG11. I'm just trying to give this appearance that our bird feeders are three-dimensional.
So speaking of the Apple Watch, I got that stupid Aura ring, and it tells me I have major signs of strain and could have something triggering soon. There's my vertigo.
Oh, it told you your vertigo was coming, or that it
because it's still learning me, but it's telling me that I had a major strain yesterday, and that so my body was obviously doing something, figuring it out. Because I've been laid up for a day and a half with vertigo.
Oh gosh!
And it just alerted me.
It's
alerted me of something, and I was like,
yeah, Rebecca got. I don't know if you've heard of that Aura ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I have a watch and a ring that yells
at you.
I have two things that yell at me.
I guess this also kind of feeds into getting older. I slept wrong on my left shoulder the other night. And totally messed up my shoulder for 2 days. Like, I had to go see my massage therapist. I couldn't get in and out of a car. Like, you don't realize the muscles you use in that shoulder blade area, like the things that you do that affects those muscles. Yesterday was the first day that I felt semi-okay, and this happened on Thursday last week. It was really bad.
Oh my
Chris
gosh.
was like watching me wince, and he was like in pain. He was like, oh.
Oof.
Okay. Yay, we have people still joining in. Thank you. So we're going to do our birds, and they're going to be BG13 and BG11. Bellies and the patch on their head are going to stay white, but I thought we'll go through all 6 birds and shadow them with the BG13. And then we can go ahead and blend with our BG11. But I think we'll do the shadowing, and then that way if we get chatty, we can all kind of blend at our own pace. Okay? So I'm going to just start left to right. So I've got this first bird here that's flying to the left with both of his wings spread out. I'm going to just do a thin line with BG13 at the bottom of him, of his face and that wing. I'm going to go in the little crook of that right wing and on the right side of his tail feathers. And then I'm also just going to follow along his head on that left wing. And again, if you're new, maybe you didn't know that there were coloring guides, but it is helpful whether you print the coloring guide or have it up on another device. That way you can kind of like look at it while I'm explaining what we're doing. Because sometimes describing what we're coloring and where is maybe making sense in my brain, but might not make sense in your brain. And then we have our little bird that's facing the left, and both his wings are up in the air. So for him, what I'm going to do is follow along his belly and that bottom part of his tail feathers. And then on his front wing, I'm going to just trace along the tip of it, like the outermost tip. And his back wing, I colored completely. And I also just want to mention, you guys, these are my suggestions on how to color and where to shadow. There is literally no right or wrong way. So if you're just, marching to the beat of your own drum over there tonight, I love it. I think it's great. Yeah. I hope you guys will share what you're making. Remember, you can tag lawnfawn and tag me, Jen Shirkus. I put that in the grass below us because we absolutely love to see what you create. And it's okay if you're not following us at all. I just love that hopefully you're getting some crafty time.
Yes, exactly. And yeah, and it's fun. You can do what you want. Or someone was mentioning their BGs might be dry. You could do Bs or even like purples or BVs or anything, because you can still follow the same idea of the shading. Yep. And I'm like, Jen, obviously, if you like to think about the light source and everything, I think that's amazing. But I'm just like, I just make lines where I make lines, and it always looks pretty.
Yep. Yep. So for this next bird that's facing the right with both of his wings out, I just went down that right side of his tail feathers. I did the tips of both of his wings, and then I just did a little bit on the left side on the top of his head. And then we have the bird that's like bending down. He's pecking at the seeds. I'm going to follow along the left side of his tail feathers, along his bum. And then I follow along that belly patch. And then I trace underneath his wing all the way around. And then we have the bird that is standing up and facing left. And for him, I just did a little bit at the top of his head along his head patch. And then I do a little bit at the bottom of his belly, the bottom of his tail feathers, and underneath his wing. And then the last little bird that's facing the right, I am following along the left side of his head, underneath that left wing. And then I've brought in generous amount up from the bottom of his belly, and I colored his tail feathers completely. So now, again, all the belly patches and the head patches, leave those white. But what I decided to do is take, what we're going to do next is just take that BG11. You're going to blend the edge of that BG13. So you don't color it in completely. We blend the edge first. And then I'll finish coloring in whatever's left white, minus head patches and belly patches. Hopefully that
What about
sense.
The wings on this guy?
Say that again.
The wings, yes.
Wings, yes, but just no head patches and belly patches.
I like it's just those birds look nonchalant to me. I call them the what the peck birds because we have that little phrase in the dance. This is what the peck. They're the ones that are like not loving the squirrels there. You know?
Yeah. They're not interested in what's going on.
No. They are not thrilled about these squirrels taking all their bird seed. No. I have these birds. I think they're called juncos maybe, that they're in my yard, and they always seem upset about the squirrels taking that. Like the sparrows are like, it's fine. But
there's enough for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just grumping. we call it grumping because my dog Mo, she's an expert grumper.
She's a queen grump.
Yeah, she really is. And so we call it grumping. Sorry, we're talking bad about you, Mo. She's sleeping through it. She's all right about it.
Well, and we have the in our backyard, it's conservation land. It's an old cranberry bog that's no longer in use, and Barnstable Conservation keeps it up. But so there's walking trails back there, and we have so many different birds. Like, I just love walking out there, and I swear every time I go out there I see a new kind of bird. I always share my walks on my Instagram stories. I don't have a lot of photos of birds because I'm not fast enough nor skilled enough to get photos. It's usually just of turtles and frogs and ducks, but it's still really cool.
Yeah, we don't get a lot of different kinds of birds, but recently I've seen a bluebird around here, which I feel like I've never seen one before.
Like a blue jay or a bluebird?
Not a blue. It's almost like a blue robin, kind of. I don't know what it is. It's not a blue jay, but yeah, we mostly have like the little song sparrow, chickadee type little guys.
Yep. Remember those really cool birds that we found in the bushes out here?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about those ones.
Really cool.
Well, and sometimes we get parrots, which is really cool.
We have them in our corner.
Yeah,
we have parrots.
A couple of parakeets.
Oh yeah,
they're well. I mean, from a distance, they could be parrots, but they could be parakeets. But there's a couple of them living in our courtyard right now.
Yeah, there's like these wild ones, and they come through my town every once in a while, and you'll see them. And it's just like, I can't remember what time of year it happens, but it's one type of year, and they just come through and then go on wherever they're going next. My grandmother lives in Miami, and she gets peacocks in her yard.
That's cool. Yeah, if we have parrots, it's because somebody's pet parrot got out and they're in the lost and found board.
Yeah, I think these are some kind of flock of parrots that escaped something at some point.
They say that they're from, like, I'm talking like they said like 100 years ago. It was a flock of parrots or something that escaped.
Oh, and they've just been like living there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Something called a California scrub jay that looks like a bluebird.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
So what I did with the head patches and the belly patches is I just took my W2 marker and I just did a thin line. I didn't color it all in, but just a thin line on each belly patch and head patch just to give it some dimension, but essentially they're white. On the head patches, I traced like the bottom line, and on the belly patches, I traced the upper line.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Melissa has a friend who's like a bird photographer, and she made her a birthday card.
Oh, fun.
That's so great.
Really cool.
Oh yeah, the wild parrots in San Diego too.
I think that's where they from.
And then they just
right around.
I
think
and Laura's saying that in Connecticut, parakeets escaped from the airport and have settled there. How do they survive the winter, parakeets? Because she's in Connecticut.
My grandmother had a parrot in Cuba as a young girl. She had him for 40 years. And he would follow her to the bus stop and then head back home. And I won't say the words that the parrot knew. Very inappropriate. But there was 3 kids, and it was her and her brother were close in age, and then a much younger sister, and she was always sneaking out and doing things like that. And they taught the bird to scream "Lua entra, Lua," to tell her to come back inside anytime she left the house, so she could never sneak out because the parrot would tell on her.
That's funny.
They have 3 freeloading parrots that would climb back in their open enclosure and sit for somebody to close the door because they're too lazy to fend for themselves.
I love it.
So my mother had a parrot who got married to myself.
I was getting ahead of myself. I forgot to rosy the cheeks. So I used RV10 and I rosied all the cheeks, the squirrels and the birds.
I was like, I did my squirrels, but I forgot the birds.
I was getting excited to glitter all of the things.
And I did the squirrels and then totally forgot about doing the birds. Miles is so sweet. He always sees us doing this. And so when he colors in his critters, he always adds little rosy cheeks.
Oh, I love it. Oh, Laura says big nests, well insulated. I guess so. I didn't think parakeets would be able to survive the winter.
Oh my gosh, someone's mom's parrot would ask if the cat's food was good while he was eating. Oh my goodness.
That's funny. All right, so all even though I say glitter all of the things, we've learned that I really just mean glitter in moderation. So I'm going to add some glitter to the flowers and the birds, and that's it. So I'm just gently peeling these off of my best ever craft tape. I'll leave my other images on the tape so they don't get lost. So this is lawnfawn Prisma glitter that I keep in my glitter storage container. And I'm using my Sakura Quickie glue pen. And if you like to use tweezers, now's a good time to use tweezers. I'm just better with just my hands. But I'm going to fill in the petals of the flowers with the Quickie glue pen. It comes out blue, but it will dry clear. And so I'm just going to take this flower and I dip straight in, straight out. And then I use the pen and I tap the edge of the cardstock, and that drops off all of the extra glitter. And this is dry and ready to go right away. And on your handout, I do list what I glittered and what I popped up. So all of that information is there for you. On these two little guys that kind of have the scalloped wings, I just filled in their wings completely. But also, just like our coloring, you do not need to glitter exactly like I do. And you might be team stickles like Shari, and you might glitter once we put all our cards together. That's okay too.
So I love all these parrot stories. And a parrot who would say, "Here, kitty, kitty."
The little bird that's facing the right with the two little wings, I just colored both, or glittered both wings. And then these three guys that have their wings open, it looks like I added just a little bit of glitter like on the highlight, like the highlight of their head and the highlight of their wings. Just a little bit. I do say glitter all the things, but I mean in moderation. It looks prettier if you kind of
glitter
hold
parts,
back.
parts of the things.
Glitter with purpose.
Someone's saying how much they like how bright and white this glitter is. I like that too. It doesn't really, some glitters will sort of look pink or purple, but this one really just is shimmery.
Yeah.
Our chunky glitter has a little bit of that pinkish purple to it.
Cute. Cute, cute, cute. And then I also used my white gel pen, and I just add little dots in the rosy cheeks. Again, you can, it's optional, but I like it. I think it looks so cute.
Yeah. Hold on.
Our joke here, Rebecca and I share like so many supplies, and it's just so funny. We're like, we only have one.
I was gonna say a gel pen that costs $2.
I know.
Listen, ask her where all. If we get two things, ask her where both of them end up. Ask
yeah.
her where bones for, and she can never find her bone for.
All in either my stuff or Miles takes it.
Yeah.
Those are our two options.
Usually in her drawers.
But usually in my drawers. Yeah, like right now, I don't know where the base of my die cutting machine is, but I mean, it's probably in my drawers.
So we have two, but she had to come over and steal mine because she can't find hers. But I know if I go through her drawers, I'll find it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the other thief is Miles. Miles is a big culprit on that.
All right,
yeah, he's
trying to get his own supplies. All of that aside, and we are going to start watercoloring.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute that the kitty lived with a parrot and the parrot would meow.
So many parrot stories.
I love it.
Parrots have such
oh my gosh
personalities.
I know. The stories of my grandmother's one, like I said, most of them had some interesting language, but the parrots just. But the stories. But I love that he would follow her to the bus stop and then make his way back home.
So Betsy says the powder will stick to the ink alone. I'm wondering if you're asking about the glitter. And for the glitter, I was using a Quickie glue pen, which is it has glue in it. So I don't know if that was your question, Betsy, but let me know. All right.
Are we on card 1 or 2 right now, Jen?
This one.
Okay, so card 2.
Thank you. So we're gonna start with our card 2 kit, and we're gonna set aside our leafy tree backdrop. Is that what it's called? Tree branch backdrop? Tree branch backdrop. Sorry, Kelly. And we're just going to work on our 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 panel of distressed watercolor cardstock. I'm going to work on the smooth side, but you can work on the smooth or the textured side, whatever you would like. And we're going to use our blue watercolor pencil. So I'm going to use Peacock Feathers, which is this little baby one. The distressed watercolor pencils will last you a very, very, very long time. You guys have to know, like, I use mine so much, and clearly this is a favorite color.
Somebody was mentioning that you can buy them individually now. I saw that earlier, yes. Jen. I meant to tell you.
A few places are starting to sell them individually. Yes. So I don't have to panic about this pencil. Although Kathy, who works at Ranger, saw how small my Peacock Feathers was, and she sent me another Peacock Feathers. So they love me. Okay, what I suggest for a minute is I would just sit on your hands and just watch me for a second, because I think you'll hear what I'm explaining better by just watching and not trying to do at the same time. We're going to do this background right here, and it's not complicated at all. And I'm just going to start by doing the upper corner, and then I'll work with you guys on doing the rest. But I would just listen and watch first, just so you can kind of see what I am doing. The way that I use my distressed watercolors the most is by keeping them in their tin like this and using them like a palette. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take my wet paintbrush to the pencil to pick up color. All right. But before I do that, I'm taking my wet paintbrush and I'm going to just start by adding water to my distressed watercolor cardstock. Now, I know you cannot see what I'm doing, like where the water is, but I would just suggest keeping kind of an organic edge and not going right to the edge, keeping some white space. Once you get some water down, I'm going to take my wet paintbrush. I'm brushing it onto my pencil. And if this makes you stress out that it's too messy, you can pick your pencil up and take the color from it, and then your tin won't get messy. I know from teaching with these, people get nervous about that. And then I'm just touching my wet paintbrush with the pigment on it to the puddle of water that I put down on my cardstock, my distressed watercolor cardstock. Okay. Then again, you're just going to bring more water in and just kind of start to flow it around, bring in some more pencil, touch it, and move it around. Does this make sense, Kelly?
Yes, it does. I'm wondering, people may ask, what type of paintbrush? Does it matter?
It doesn't matter. This is a paintbrush I've had for like 100 years, and it's like a number 4 or number 6 round brush. I always recommend when purchasing brushes, Ranger has that amazing brush set that comes with like a whole variety of brushes. This is like multiples.
I've had these for like 16 years.
Yeah, it's a great set, and I believe it's like a number 6 round is what it is in the Ranger world.
This is the number 6 in
Yes.
Ranger.
Yeah. This is the number 6 round, and this is what I'm using. It's almost identical. It's just kind of weird. It's like I've just gotten so used to that brush. It's just the one I use instead of using the Ranger one. I don't know why. And so again, you're just adding, and be a little bit more generous with the water than you think. You can always add more pigment from your pencil to make your color darker after. But really just kind of have fun with it and let the pigment kind of move and flow around. If your pigment isn't moving really well, you need more water. You can see I keep going in and dipping water and bringing it to my watercolor cardstock. And then you can brush some more pigment.
Should it be really getting like goopy, Jen? Like
it can be soupy-ish. You don't want it very drippy, only because you might just kind of lose control of it a little bit. And you really kind of want to preserve those white edges. It's natural for your watercolor cardstock to start to bend a little, and don't be afraid to just pick it up and kind of just gently, I'm not creasing it, but I'm just gently kind of bending it the opposite way again, just to get it to be flat. You're the boss of it.
You tell them.
I was like, are you sure? Because right now,
sure. I'm sure.
Tell them.
Is this, I don't know, this paper might be the boss of me right now. But.
Nope. I don't believe it. And my pencils are more loved. So if your pencils are more new, it's going to take a little bit longer for you guys to get pigment off the tip of it onto your paintbrush. You'll really have to kind of wet yours a little bit more than me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I had to ask that question, because I was really having to add water.
Yes.
To the brush, because it was like, now that it's going, it's fine.
Yeah. If your distress watercolor pencils aren't as loved as mine, they just need a little more coarsening. Just need a little bit more attention. But you can really have fun with it. So now that I have color down, I can kind of go in with a little bit more water and kind of plop some down. What's going to happen is we are not going to dry this with our heat tools. We are going to kind of let magic happen. I often do not use my heat tool to dry my watercoloring, because what's going to happen is we're going to get some really cool little veins and pockets of color and pooling, and it's just going to look really cool.
Once it dries, do you ever go back in, Jen, and like tell it?
You could if you want. Yeah, once it dries, if you want to add more, you can most certainly. Lori says her paper is bendy and she's telling it to straighten up. Yeah, Nikki said the old Claudine Helmuth brushes. They are. Mine are the old Claudine Helmuth brushes.
Mine are the Claudine Helmuth.
Yep. Right
I
here.
took a class of hers at CHA before lawnfawn existed, and it was amazing.
I loved her stuff.
That might have been where these brushes came from, or I bought them after I took the class. Yeah.
So you can kind of see how I have like a little bit of pooling of water. See how it kind of moves? That looks great, Kelly. Yeah. I would just recommend, once you're done, to give it a little bendy bend the opposite way, just so it will lay flat to dry. So that way all your pooling won't happen on the edges. It'll kind of happen all around.
Pass me a paper towel, please. I managed to splatter paint.
Somebody asked, how do you revive the quickie glue pen that quit flowing? Well, when you buy a new quickie glue pen, you promise it you'll use it once a month, and then it'll never quit flowing. I have no tricks. I keep mine tipped down in my cup on my table, and I use it at least once a month. Some people say you could heat it with a heat tool to get it to flow again.
Well, that's worth trying.
Yeah. You okay?
I'm realizing I like. Oh yeah, I splattered paint earlier from a different project, But it's like, I thought rubbing alcohol would take it off, but
the splatter does not come off with rubbing alcohol. You've got to use like actual like method cleaner or whatever I found.
Oh, and like, yeah.
It's kind of a pain, I've noticed. Okay, so I'm going to set mine aside, okay? And then we can go ahead and bring in our tree branch backdrop. I don't know why I want to keep calling it leafy, because it is leafy.
Yeah, it is leafy, but there is also a leafy tree backdrop already.
Yeah.
And someone mentioned that they're using lawnfawn peacock ink with a blending brush. I think that's amazing.
Fun. I think that's awesome. All right, so now what we're going to do for this, we are using a brown too. Let me see what color brown we're using. Hold, please. Frayed burlap.
Frayed burlap.
All in set 3. If you have yours still in set.
Burlap. Oh, they're right here. Never mind. I got it.
Okay. Yeah, they're all back there.
But any brown will work. These were all just from one set, which is what I was trying my hardest to do.
Oh, so I'll use a different brown just to show it then. What about vintage?
Yeah, it does not have to be the same brown. It was me just trying to make, if people were new to the pencils, not feel like they have to buy a million sets. I'll get at you eventually for that. Just teasing. Okay, so with our brown Distress watercolor pencil, what you're going to do is, and I'm using frayed burlap, which is in set 3. I'm just picking up some color, and we are literally just painting our branches. And I'm just working right on my glass tabletop because it'll be super easy to clean off after.
Jen, just to make sure, we want to make sure we're not going into the frame, right?
Correct. Yep. Don't go into the frame. It's okay if you actually go into the frame a little bit. You'll see why in a while. So you don't have to be super neat. I would just stay away from going too high up into your leaves. Although a little bit of brown in the base of your leaves would not be bad. It might look more realistic. But very simple. Just have fun. I like how freeing working with the Distress watercolor pencils is. I know watercoloring sometimes stresses people out more, and I think it's because we as crafters hear watercoloring and you think of it more as a fine art, and we sometimes as crafters don't see ourselves as artists, and I would tell you that's a lie. We are all artists.
I'm not a huge fan of markering like this. Like Kelly's so good at markering this stuff, and I'm not.
Yep.
And I'm terrified of watercoloring, and what you're doing right now, I'm like, I could do this.
You could do it, Rebecca. It's very relaxing too. Like just kind of seeing where it's dark and where it's light and moving it around with the water. And I don't know. Maybe it's the mermaid in me, but I find it very relaxing.
I think too, like, I guess it's probably like a nice sort of like study in like being okay with what is, right? Yep. Not to get sort of like bad about it, but.
So what I recommend, now that we just kind of did a little bit of brown on our branches, I'm going to lift my backdrop up because see all of this pooling of pigment on my table? I'm going to wipe that off with my flour sackcloth. As we're kind of moving around our backdrop, we just don't want a ton of pooling of pigment because then you'll kind of start to lose control, and I don't want anybody to get nervous about that.
Well, I wanted to mention too that I don't have a glass mat, so I'm just working on some scratch paper, and that's working well too.
Perfect. And Melissa says she doesn't have this background die, so she's making her own branches from the Toucan Do It stamp set. I love that.
I love it.
Somebody mentioned it, and I want you to answer it, but I texted to her. But she asked if we got a box of soap.
Yes.
So
we
Sharon
did.
Is in the chat right now.
We did, and I hadn't been able to send you a thank you yet, but oh my goodness, we were so amazed. It's so cute and so fun. Oh my gosh, you guys, Do we still have it here? Right, because I don't think I brought it home yet, right?
No, it's still here.
Oh my gosh, I have to show you.
Thank you yet.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna take it home until I write you a thank you.
Yeah.
And of course, it was one of those crazy. Oh my gosh!
Help that I've been laid out.
But look how cute it has. Oh, the shine. Wait.
It's the dog from Critters and
the
Birds.
Dog, which is our very first image we ever did.
That's so awesome.
And here's the beach one.
That smells so good. Oh yeah, and then look at the beach one.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
She said other ones too, but they're all the same.
Oh,
yeah.
That one smells different.
They're so
it does.
Good.
It's citrusy. Ooh.
But thank you. That is so absolutely kind of you. And we were just like blown away when they came in. And I'm so sorry that I hadn't been able to write you a thank you yet. It's been a little crazy and I was out sick one day. But thank you so much because it's just so sweet of you. So it just makes our day. It's absolutely amazing. And now I can bring them home now because I'm
now you can enjoy them.
I know, right?
So now we're just going to take a green. I'm going to use Rustic Wilderness, and we're just going to go ahead and paint our leaves. And it's okay if you go into your brown a little bit. It's going to be okay. These are translucent, so you will still see a little bit of the brown. And I actually think it looks natural to do that. I do try to make sure my brush kind of hits the edges of the cardstock so you don't have any white showing. But what's fun about watercoloring these is you're just naturally going to get some lights and darks. You can most certainly manipulate where your lights and darks are, but for tonight's class, I'm not doing that. I'm just kind of keeping this low stress. I knew this was going to be a weeknight create with us, and I wanted to not stress people out too much. We've done a few other create with us sessions where we have used distress watercolor pencils. So we've done some polls in the past and people wanted me to do more with them. So they're not in every create with us, but I do kind of keep bringing them back. I use them in a lot of my online classes, and I also have 2 online distress technique classes all about the distress watercolor pencils. So if you're kind of enjoying yourself and you want to learn some more, you could check those out as well.
Oh yeah, that'd be so fun. Another thing to mention too, if you don't have these yet, but you're interested in kind of trying this technique, you could even take your lawnfawn inks and like smear them on an acrylic block and pick up the paint. And well, obviously the color won't be quite as vibrant as these because they're meant for watercolor, but that would also be a really fun way to practice this technique and see how you enjoy it.
You also could use your distress inks. That's what I did for several years before they added these pencils to the distress line. So that's another idea.
Oh, true. Yep. Now, Jen, like sometimes like I want that watercolor look and I'm getting it where it's like almost too perfect, right? Like is there...
Yeah. So what you could do is actually clean your brush and not necessarily have it be super wet, kind of just damp. And you could just touch your wet brush to your leaves and kind of leave behind a little dot of water here and there. And just, it might not look like much now, but again, once it dries, it'll kind of look really cool.
Okay, I'm going to try that. Because yeah, mine ended up somehow turning out like a little bit too like solid.
Yep. And then once you get your leaves done, again, I'm lifting up my backdrop and I'm just wiping any extra pigment that's underneath. Just, it's okay if some is there, but we just kind of don't want too much to start mingling with other stuff. And then we're going to do something really cool, but I will wait a minute because I know I am faster.
Yeah, I'm still doing leaves here.
That's okay. Yep.
Guidance here.
Keep working on your leaves. No worries.
I also got distracted by incredible soap.
Yeah,
Yes.
no. That's awesome.
I also wanted, while people are coloring, I wanted to thank you guys because many of you have sent Miles birthday cards. And he is loving opening them so much. And it is so absolutely kind of you to do that because he is just like so excited about it. And we've been saving all the envelopes because I'm going to print out a US map. And then we're gonna, world map actually, and then we're gonna color in where he's gotten a card from, and he's just so excited about it. And we have some more for him. He's not in today, but we have some more for him to open up. So he's gonna be so excited tomorrow. So thank you guys so much. It's just so sweet. When I was pregnant with him, so many of you guys sent cards, and I have them all in a box. They mean so much to me. And now birthday cards, and it's just so kind of you. So thank you.
May is the best birthday month there is.
we were signing birthday cards here at lawnfawn, for people that work here, and we're like, wow, we got a lot of Mays and a lot of Septembers in this group.
Yep,
those are our months around here. I'm just going in now with my water and make them more uneven.
Melissa says she's using her distress watercolor pencils for the first time. This is really fun. Yay! I feel like that Melissa might have been at my Firefly Farm classes. And maybe she used distress inks and I enabled her to get the distress pencils. Maybe I'm thinking of a different Melissa, but yeah, Shari just said May is a great birthday month. And Nikki said, yes, it is, because Nikki just celebrated a birthday.
She's so glad they got here. I know sometimes boxes here at Lawnfawn will end up in a stack. People think it's product, and then it'll take a little while for it to get to our office.
That box was out there.
Yeah. So it gets stacked in our receiving area, and so sometimes that happens here.
Sandy's birthday is May 31st. She just made it to the best birthday month there is. Aw. Happy birthday, Julie. Her birthday was yesterday. All right. Are we good with our leaves, Miss Kelly?
I think we're good.
Okay.
Anything, but today's my dog's birthday.
Hey, that works. I'm all for a good pet birthday. Those look awesome.
But I was a bad pet mom and forgot until my kids told me. Which is not.
No, but you weren't feeling good.
Yeah, that's true. I'll take it.
All right. Now, trust me. Please trust me. But what we are going to do is we are actually going to color our whole frame with our frayed burlap. And then we're going to go over it with peacock feathers. And what it does is kind of gives this patinaed look to our frame. It's really, really cool. But I just don't want you to panic. So I'm going to start, and I'm actually going to just show you guys in a corner. I'm going to take some frayed burlap, and I'm going to go ahead and just lay some down. And then I'm going to take some peacock feathers, and I'm going to go right over it.
And Jen, should we be working in little sections like this?
You don't need to work in little sections. No, I just wanted to show you so you're not
You could do all of the frayed burlap and then.
Yep.
Okay.
And what I would recommend if you get ahead of me is when you go in with your peacock feathers, don't be so perfect with it. Kind of more dab and dot it and just kind of see where you want to add it and where you want more brown to shine through and where you want more teal to shine through. But just right now, I'm just going around.
I'm noticing.
Yep. I was going to say mine's pretty wet. Yep.
And I think you're also about to answer my question because I was like, oh, should I leave some white or should I?
No, for this part with the brown, have it all brown.
Okay.
Yep. And again,
also, I wanted to know, I think I cut mine out of normal. I cut mine out of normal cardstock by mistake, my branches, but it's still working. So I'm sure it's nicer on watercolor cardstock, but I just wanted to mention for anyone who's maybe they don't have watercolor cardstock or they oopsied like I did, that it is okay.
The only problem you might run into, Kelly, is too much water might start to pill your cardstock. So
yeah. So I'm kind of trying to be careful. I had on my base piece, I had watercolor. I just,
Yeah, it's all good. Hopefully my directions were right.
They probably were.
It's okay. I think it's okay. I'm more just, I love you guys. I'm not worried about you. I'm just hoping I did not mess up my directions.
No, I don't think so. I think I messed up.
Okay, so we are just, again, you do want it to be fairly damp once you do that whole frame. And then again, I'm going to just go in with my peacock feathers and just kind of dip and dab it. Don't necessarily fill it all over completely. Just kind of see where it takes you and see what look you like. You can kind of see I'm kind of just slapping it on here and there.
I like the description, just slapping it on.
Slapping it on. And then, so if you guys just take a minute and look at my screen real quick, just so you can kind of see what I mean. And then what I'll do is I am going to just take my brush, and it's just kind of damp, and I'm just kind of dabbing it around to kind of move that peacock feathers around, move the frayed burlap around. This is really just meant to be fun and non-stressful.
This is turning out so pretty.
It's really cool. Like, again, because these are translucent, like your Copic markers, and you could kind of undertone with your alcohol-based markers like this, you can kind of do the same thing with these watercolor pencils, which I just think is so neat.
Now coming back in with some blue.
Yep, you can come back in with blue. You can come back in with brown too.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like I just got a little too teal up in my corner here, so I'm gonna come in with some brown. And you know what else you can do, Kelly? You could have both on your paintbrush at once and dab it.
What?
Yep, we get all wild up and crazy here in these Create With Us's.
I know.
Breaking all the rules.
Oh, I'm so excited how this is turning out.
Oh wow, that turned out really good, Kelly.
Isn't it cool? So spoiler
Mine
alert,
ended up a little more like stripey just because I don't have the right paper, but it's still
no, it looks great. I love these Create With Us's because I also think it gets Kelly out of her comfort zone.
I like, here's my backdrop. Let me color it with markers. Yes.
Yep. I love it. So I am going to wipe off my table and I'm going to set this aside. And we're going to work on our other background.
Oh, and then Julie says that she's so glad Miles is loving the card. She was worried it'd be overwhelming for him. He's definitely not overwhelmed, but we also are we're opening up a couple each day. So it's been perfect because every day is exciting. So it's been so sweet. He gets to celebrate a birthday month.
I might be pronouncing this name wrong, but like Zainab or Zainab. Back from dropping kids off at school and you guys are still live. Oh my gosh, you'll have to tell us where you're tuning in from because it's definitely not the States.
Yeah.
Oh man, lots of May birthdays. Maybe May crafty people are May people. I'm a September girl myself.
Well, I'm February.
Yeah, so. You're February.
All right, so what we're going to do out of our card kit 1 is we're just going to take out our lacy rectangle. If you guys didn't have lacy rectangle, you could use a stitched rectangle, a scalloped rectangle. This is, it's almost a 3 by 4 1/4-ish.
Yeah, we also have like the outside in stitched rectangles which match this size.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, they're in Hong Kong.
How do you remember what?
I don't, my memory is.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I can never remember. I have to lay them on top to figure out what lays with what. And I know things go, but.
All right. So what we're going to do on this background.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
What we're going to do on this background is similar to what we did on our last background. We want to kind of pool our water, bring in the pigment. Excuse me. I would start with peacock feathers. You want to preserve some white space. Sorry, I have a tickle in my throat. Preserve some white space. And then as you come down here, we're going to introduce rustic wilderness and bring the two together while it's still damp so that some fun blending happens. Okay. So I'm going to start with water, and it's totally okay if your water's a little dirty. Actually, it might help you see where my water is. Nah, still not dirty enough, but it's what's nice too about the distress watercolor pencils is they're so highly pigmented, even with dirty water. The colors stay really true to themselves. So if you know, you know. Those of you in the chat that take a lot of classes with me know that I've proven that fact over time. We do my virtual art retreat, Kelly, and I'll challenge people to not clean their water on Saturday night and come back in on Sunday water. Some people confess that they do, but I just love to get everybody out of their comfort zones a little bit. That's when the creativity happens. So you can see I've got my peacock feathers leaving about an inch at the bottom. And then I'm going to take my rustic wilderness and I'm just going to kind of bring it up into that.
These two colors together are so pretty. I mean, obviously it's like lawnfawn colors, so I like them, but well, lawnfawn colors are because we like our scenes, right? We need our grass and our.
I always tell everybody lawnfawn has the best teals.
We do because we love that color.
Yep.
Now, Jen, like kind of how when you ink blend something, do you kind of want to then go back and bring in some more, go back and forth between the two?
You can either clean your brush and just have a damp brush so it's not drippy and kind of swish in between the seam, or you could come in with the lighter color, which I guess in this case would be peacock feathers kind of ish, and swish some more color. It really honestly doesn't matter, really. Whatever you feel like. If you find the water's taking away too much color, then go in with some more pigment.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yay. I love it.
It's fun. Yours is more round, and I was back and forth. I guess it doesn't matter, right?
No, doesn't matter at all. I just like to leave a little white space because I like that storybook feel.
Oh, I like that too. I just mean that yours is I went and yours is more
I actually like how yours looks. I like the texture for sure.
I like that storybook look too, where when things are colored in and there's white left.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna set this aside, and we are at the point where we need to start assembling, and I still have a little pool of wet in my background of that second card, that first one that we did. So I am, just for the sake of live TV, I am going to grab my Ranger heat tool and dry it. We do want it to be pretty dry because we're going to stamp on it.
I might have to dry mine too.
It's somebody's asking what the border dye was.
The Ranger heat tool is good because it's a diffused heat. It is different than an embossing gun, so it doesn't scorch your cardstock and it doesn't move your inks around. Oh, Jennifer Burns says, I'm a May birthday as well. I usually say I'm a maybe. That's good.
That's good.
Libby got her coloring done.
I was just going to say, I'm like, look, Libby got her coloring done.
I bet she's switching things up.
actually be dry enough. What do you think?
Well, that's dry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're dry.
This one's not, because this one was normal card. This one was normal cardstock,
yeah.
so. But that's okay.
I wouldn't start drying your the background we just finished just yet. Kind of let some of those watercolors marinate a little bit. I would just focus on these two pieces right now. Again, if I wasn't on live on a live video, I would let them dry naturally. I would move on to something else, but oh my gosh, I love it.
I'm not getting on camera, but
I lost my backdrop that I got.
Just now?
Yeah, that's weird, right?
This one right here?
No, the one that has color on it.
No, I didn't know if that was upside down.
That's funny.
That's weird.
Yeah, I'm officially losing it.
I'm like, welcome to Kelly.
It'll I watched it congratulate me for standing up, so that's good.
All right, so what we're going to do is I added this whole backdrop to my background with foam strips. Now, everything is still kind of warped a little bit, and I know that might stress some of you guys out, but once you actually put this on a card base, it'll flatten out. There's lots of tricks. Some people put it through their die cut machine to flatten it out, or their laminator or what have you. I'm fine. Once it gets on a card base, it's good. But the 3L foam strips are great for this because we're going to be able to go around all four sides.
The spicy ones. After Dave got a spicy one, I'm like, okay, they're all spicy.
Yeah. Have you ever had those shishito peppers before where some are spicy and some aren't?
No.
Trader Joe's has like like crunchy ones, and but you don't know if you're gonna get super spicy or not. I kind of want to eat one right now, but then I don't because it might be the super spicy one.
I don't really love spicy, so that
I don't either.
Fun to me
because they're usually okay.
Yeah.
But then 3 that were
the
spicy.
risk does not
the risk is the reward.
The risk is not the reward.
Yeah, I like spicy.
Chris will sometimes eat something that's so spicy, he's like crying and he's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And I'm like, how is that enjoyable?
That's Ken. Ken, there is nothing spicy enough for him.
Oh, like, I have no desire to do that. Now, when you start to add some foam strips behind your branches, I will just point out if you're going to follow the layout that I did, I would just peek at your photo of the card, but like this top branch is overlapping the bird feeder. So that those two little leaves down there, you won't want to put foam behind them, I guess is what I'm getting at. You can always rip it off too, but does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. You kind of have to look at the picture.
Yeah. If you're following the same layout, it's totally okay if you're not.
I'm trying to find
I love this new backdrop die. Like I love we're doing some other fun things with it in my class, but I love that you can cut some of the branches off. You can.
That's my favorite because then it totally feels different when you do that.
There's just so many different looks you can get from it. I'm actually really surprised.
Yeah, that you're like, oh wait, what die was that? And you're like, oh
right.
yeah, it's fun. Or you can imagine you could even add little snow on it, or you can get really creative with it.
Well, fall for sure too.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Although I just don't want to talk about fall just yet.
I was gonna say I'm surprised you brought it up because you.
I know. I take it back. Those words did not just come out of my mouth.
As it gets warmer and warmer every year, I'm more and more just oh, can I just
no. No, you just need to move. Come to the land of 4 seasons.
Yeah,
no.
I do like 4 seasons.
No, absolutely not.
Been there, appreciate it more.
Yeah.
Been there, done that. No, thank you.
Well, on the Cape, Rebecca, it's gotten a lot more mild. We didn't even really have snow this year.
I digging my car out to go to work. I never ever want.
That's Chris's job. Also, I work from home too, so.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I know, like I liked living in snow, but I only ever lived in snow as a kid. I didn't have like responsibilities, you know.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Different thought.
Yeah, when you got to get in the car to go to work.
And I worked in the middle of the night, so I literally had to get up.
Oh yeah, no, that's miserable.
Yeah, at 1 o'clock in the morning, I had to be at work, and instead I'm digging my car out. Yeah, it just, it was a project.
Kelly, does the lawnfawn shop have any embossing guns or heat tools in the shop? I can't remember.
We don't currently.
So the heat tool I was using, Linda, is from Ranger. So it's the Ranger heat tool.
And then for the heat gun here, I believe we use the Milwaukee one. Is that the one we have?
The Wagner, yeah.
It's like a.
Okay. Oh no, it's the Wagner. That's right. Because it was.
Milwaukee doesn't make it anymore.
Milwaukee doesn't make it anymore. Yep.
Yeah, it's Wagner.
Yep. That's why we don't carry them, because for a while it was like hard to.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, Shari's really good. I wasn't even going to mention it. I have the Ranger heat tool in my shop because I carry it for my in-person events.
Oh, yeah.
And I couldn't even remember if it was in stock, but Shari found it.
But that one's not for heat embossing, is that correct?
You can heat emboss with it. It just takes longer. So honestly, like if I only have my Ranger heat tool plugged in and I'm lazy, I'll use it. Now in my new studio, I have a way to have them both plugged in at once. So I'm spoiled now, but it just takes a little bit longer because it's a diffused heat. The Ranger heat tool really makes a big difference when you're watercoloring and doing inky techniques. Like everybody I've enabled to get one has come back to tell me, like, I'm so glad I got it. Like, it's kind of one of those tools. Like,
yeah.
It really does make a difference. Yeah. I'm just peeling off all the things. I wanted to share with you guys, if you're not ahead of me, I have a trick to add this backdrop to the background and get things lined up.
And I'm still just trying to get all the backers off.
Perfect. Me too. It's the little ones on the leaves that are throwing me for a loop tonight.
And I'm still going.
Me too. But it looks so cute popped up. It's so worth it. It's so
I know. It's like the shadow box. Well, this is what I like about like these sections of crafting is it's like you don't really have to think. Whereas like before I'm like, oh, I'm thinking about the ink. I'm thinking about the watercolor. Now I'm just like, I'm just peeling these off.
Right.
I just keep sticking myself to it.
Again, if you're following my design, this little bunch of 3 branches is in the upper right corner. Again, only if you're worried about following the design. Now, the way that I like to line these guys up on my background, in this case, you are not the boss of the paper. Paper knows what to do and don't fight it. But what I like to do is I line up this lower left-hand corner of the backdrop with the lower left-hand corner of my background. And I kind of place point to point. And I put my finger there so it will stop moving. Okay. And then just let the background go up the card and let it go over. Now, I'm going to tell you, it's not going to be lined up perfectly, but it's going to be lined up perfect enough that any little bit of extra that we have, we are going to trim it. I actually have a question for you, Kelly. These backdrop dies, are they exactly 4 1/4 by 5 1/2?
They are exact, and that's kind of like why
because we're using a paper trimmer and like not necessarily as exact.
Also,
yes.
So cardstock paper in the whole paper world, they have a 1/16 inch sort of tolerance, I guess you could say. So it could be 1/16 of an inch bigger or smaller. So let's say you're cutting all your paper in half and then in half again. If you had a paper that was a bit bigger, that half and half,
yeah.
you could measure on your paper trimmer, your one side would be perfect, but then your other side would actually have a little extra. And that's why you'll end up sometimes with one that's bigger. My trick is anything that I'm putting on the back of like a backdrop like this, I actually cheat it. So when I'm in my paper trimmer and there's like the line right here that's 4 1/4, I just a little bit
even shorter.
And that way I know it's always going to line up, because your paper, it won't ever be perfect or consistent.
I figured it had to be something like that, because I'm like, this is like literally never lines up. But I also, just like you just saw me, I just go around and trim the background off with my scissors, and then I'll just stick this on the card and nobody.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's
only you guys will know.
Yeah, exactly. So it is okay, but that's why.
Yeah,
actually,
you. Oh,
nothing to
trim. You took out the big man.
It's amazing.
Yep. And Rebecca always trims it for me, because I have an unsteady hand, so it's very difficult for me to scissors across, and yeah, so she always got I lined it up. But that's my trick, is I always trim everything just a teeny bit smaller if I know it's going to layer behind. Even card bases, sometimes I'll just trim them just a teeny bit off.
So we're going to start to add everything. I added foam behind everything, but I have to get some more foam squares for my drawer behind me. But I wanted to just mention this bird feeder. There is a really cute stamp that is like the bird feeder hanger. I just didn't want to use that. So what I did is I just kind of hide the top of the bird feeder behind a branch, and nobody will ever know that we didn't have a hanger.
You could also use like twine or something too, which is really cute.
We did that at Firefly Farm, Kelly. It was so cute.
Oh, fun.
I was not, for in-person kits, I was not going to make.
Yeah, right. It's
my friends too much. Cut that teeny little thing. So I am adding all of my images first. We are going to do some little stamping after. Now, I've talked about this a lot in these classes and my other classes. I'm going to use an acrylic block to do the tiny stamping, because I really truly feel like in the case of that, it's just easier than using your stamping platform. But if you're insistent on using your stamping platform, that's okay. You just would probably line your backdrop up before putting foam on it and get your stamping done, and then assemble everything.
Now, Jen and I we're old school.
Yep. I swear we're talking about being old a lot more than normal, and I swear it's because it's my birthday.
You're just more
because it's your birthday.
I don't really like it.
But I think being old school isn't the same thing as being old. We've just are seasoned.
Old though.
Yeah, but we are seasoned. You know, we stamped a lot before the invention of the Misty, which is an incredible tool.
It is. It for sure is. I just think there's some stamping that still just needs to be done with a block.
The little stuff.
I swear by a Misty, and there's still things that I will pull out a block. You know, I prefer the block for it. So, and I swear by the Misty.
Yay! Somebody said, I can't wait to recreate this card. I'm so in love with this stamp set. I love that.
Yay! Ah, that makes my day.
Remember, no matter when you make any of these cards, please, please, please tag us and share it with us. I love to see what you guys make.
Oh my gosh, yes. It's like always makes my day.
All right. So I'm going to get out the best block in all of the land. I'm going to Janable you for anything. The least inexpensive supply ever, but it's amazing.
Yeah.
A 1.75 block. It's just perfect for all of the tiny lawnfawn stamping. And what I did is I stamped some music notes and then I stamped a little chirp. So I'm going to go ahead and work on that. And chirp is from the add-on set. And the music notes are from the main set. And if you haven't stamped with a block in a while, like I have not actually made cards in a while, I just do some test stamping to kind of get in the mood, get in the flow, get to the feel of how hard or light to press.
Oh, I thought maybe because they were using it, but let's see. Is it already put away?
That would be, I did not have it out. I can check out there, but they should have had their own from the, maybe not. Yeah, they definitely had their own set out there from.
Oh yeah, here's Heart Tree. It's a bird. Sorry, I'm on the
Kelly,
search.
The first time I stamped music notes from the set, I kept flipping them and I'm like, no, they put them on the set the way they're supposed to be stamped. I'm like, Kelly is going to be so sad for me.
I did the same thing, Jen. I'm like, no.
Thank you.
Erica made it the way it's supposed to be. Look at the way Erica made it. I have to remind myself that they're musicians and I don't know nothing.
Yep. Oh, I pretty much, it was kind of one of those, like, I was just doing it, not thinking. And then when I looked back at the set, I'm like, oh, they flipped them for a reason.
Yeah. I always have to remind myself they're the musicians. Look at what they're doing.
Yep.
Yeah, we try to put different ones in so you can kind of, they don't all look the same, put some upside down ones. And
I love it. I think it's great. I just was laughing at myself from not taking the cue. The one thing you want to make sure when you're stamping on something like this that's already popped up is just make sure you don't have any ink on the edges of your block, because that's where you're going to get mad and you're going to probably say not nice things about me for making you use a block.
I'm going to get out my VersaFind as well, just because my backdrop is not. My VersaFind, I mean, your really old VersaFind. VersaFind, I don't think ever dries out.
No,
mine's so old. I still have the hinged lid. Like it never.
Yeah, that's what we have here.
Mine has my old.
Yeah. It has her address on it, so I'm not going to show you. But
and every time I use it, I'm like, I guess I could treat myself to the one without the hinged lid. But nah.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally.
It still works.
It has to be 20 years old.
Then we have our sentiment that I just had you guys stamp on some white cardstock, no specific size, because we're going to go ahead and word fetty it. So I just kind of envision these in their own little rectangles. I don't want it to be perfect. I like the whimsicalness of just trimming them.
Do you have a shimmy?
I also really think it fits this font really well, because the font it's not perfect either. Like, and I mean that in the kindest of ways.
Also, somebody were asking more hints for June. So it is Lawnfawn's 15th birthday this year, which is a big one. It's our quinceañera. So we may have some birthday themed things.
It's also a summer release, so I'm happy.
Yes. Jen is very happy.
I can say that.
We have to keep Jen happy. We can't.
It's easy to keep me happy. Winter. I love every release.
Can't be doing only winter and dogs,
Yeah.
Oh, there's another set in there for Jen too.
Yep.
That I was actually just coloring. Forgot about that. Man, this is a lot of Jen. This is a lot. This is a.
Well,
supposed to be.
There's kind of a reason behind that.
Well, part of it, but the other one.
Oh, I love it. Rebecca says "genabled" is my favorite term. Yay! It's a fun one. Oh my gosh, I was just looking for my sample to see where I positioned my sentiments. I'm looking all to the left. Like, where is it?
I should have dried my paper. It's okay. Still looks okay.
Well, you can always, once it does dry, if your stamping isn't perfect, you can go in with a micron pen and just touch it up too.
Oh, and just kind of fill it in. That's true.
Yeah, there's a fix for everything.
Yeah, we'll get it.
Barbara says must be mermaids. I wish. No new mermaid set. I'm just going to tell you that now. I don't want to start any rumors.
No, there's no mermaid, but there's still things that make Jen happy. There's multiple things. If you know the things that Jen likes.
The last thing that I did to this card is I actually broke out my liquid pearls. I have probably had this bottle of liquid pearls for a decade. This was an optional supply. If you don't have liquid pearls, you could use there's other drops. I know other companies have drops that you could use colored stickles. And what I did is I added little blossoms to my tree. We did this at Firefly Farm too, and I just love the way it looks. So I just kind of add 1 or 2 or 3 little dots, and then you've got to just set it aside to dry. I feel like there's a lot of people here tonight. I hope some people share their cards with us.
There is definitely a lot of people in tonight's great with us.
It's okay if you're just chatting. We love you too, but
we want to see your.
I'm excited.
Remember,
to see
it doesn't
some
have
creativity.
to be. Yeah, it doesn't have to be exactly what we're making. Like I know someone was working on appreciation. Like share it. We just want to see it.
Yep. You never have to say, "I'm sorry, this isn't like yours." We don't need those. Oops, we don't need those words.
Jen, did you pop your sentiment? I'm catching up.
Yeah, I popped everything.
I figured as much, but
yeah,
that was a decent exception. But
yeah. You never know. It might be the one time.
The one time you're like, don't do it, don't pop it. It's the one thing I don't want you to do.
So my liquid pearls got a little crazy, so it went in a line, and I'm just kind of scraping it back into place with my paper piercer. Honestly, once it's dry, can you guys see that there where it kind of messed up? Once it's dry, I'm actually going to dab that leaf with a little bit more green watercolor, and nobody will ever know except for you guys.
And we won't tell.
All right, I really got to set that aside so I don't bump it though. I just think the blossoms look so fun.
That's so fun. I know. I got to see if I have something.
I was just kind of
see if I have something that'll work for that.
I've taught so many in-person classes at Firefly Farm. I feel like I got to come up with new little tricks for those peeps. So I was like thinking about stuff, and I was like, "Oh, that would be fun."
Down that floor.
Oh, ooh! I have some milled lavender stickles.
Ooh! Oh, you have the old distress stickles.
Yep, and a lemon yellow liquid pearls.
Ooh, both of those would be pretty.
I know. I'm gonna see.
I actually I sent a card to a friend, and I used some of my distress stickles, and I kind of wanted to write a petition to Ranger for them to make them again. They're just different than regular stickles.
They are.
They are shimmery. They're not sparkly.
I have magenta.
Chunky in a good way.
Red.
Christmas red would be pretty.
Or magenta? I'm kind of into the magenta.
The magenta sounds pretty too.
They're all over the place because Miles loves them. Let's see.
All right, I am going to start assembling my next card. I had you guys cut out a stitched rectangle. I used the wood grain paper from Lawnfawn. I love this. It has a smaller print on one side, a larger print on another. It comes in dark and light. And this is something they stock all the time.
Not too much.
Well, it's like very liquidy and old. It's very like
oh yeah. Test it out, Kelly. Is that the milled lavender?
This is the magenta one that I have.
Oh, okay. I was
It's
just
just
make
very
sure you test it out on some scratch paper.
Yeah, I don't think this one's gonna work. It's very liquidy. It's just these have all been played with
A lot.
Yeah.
a lot. Yeah, look at this old liquid pearls. Lemon, yeah, I don't know if it's lemon yellow anymore, but
Judy says, you enabled me to purchase all the distress pencils and I love using them. Thank you so much for continuing to use them in your classes. I love these cards. Aw, you're welcome, you guys.
Pretty.
all right, we're doing yellow.
So I put the wood grain down flat on a card base, you guys. Card base. My last card didn't get on a card base. I did a little card base action. And then I'm gonna pop up. Yeah, I am. I'm gonna pop up my lacy rectangle. I am gonna be stamping on this. So if this makes you nervous, you might want to do your stamping ahead of time. But it doesn't make me nervous. I'm going to make it work.
I don't know, is it too subtle? It's kind of pretty, right?
I think they're pretty.
Yeah. All right. We're
using what we have, right, Kelly?
Yep. Well, and Miles, when he was younger, got really into my liquid pearls and stickles, which is why I don't have as much of a stash anymore. He would dump it all out. That's what that magenta one he used to do because he loves that color. He would dump it all out on his like on one piece of cardstock and make like mountains and let them dry.
Brenda, this is the light one and this is the dark one. So I use the light, but the left is the dark, just so you guys can see the different color on screen. And again, it comes in 12 by 12. And one side has a larger pattern and the other side kind of has what you would see in a 6x6 paper pad, I'm guessing. I just made that up. I don't know if I'm telling lies.
Yeah, it is a smaller, the six, when we had the 6x6, it was even smaller than that. But that's, the two on the 12 by 12 are my favorites.
Yeah.
That's why we always bring that paper back.
Oh, Linda's using some of the older wood grain paper that actually is textured. I love that too.
Oh,
it used to
yeah.
come gray.
We'll get that.
Me too. I love that paper.
Yeah. That's a great idea. Okay. So I popped up my lacy rectangle, and then what I'm going to do is just start to build my scene. I'm going to start by getting my branches in here. And remember I said one branch is going to come in from one side and the other from the other side. So I'm going to kind of, I'm going to look at my coloring. So my shadow is on the bottom. It's getting late here on the East Coast, friends. My brain is slowing down.
Well, and I'm still catching up here.
You're okay.
I'm sure you're still further ahead than Libby.
And Libby catching up.
Oh, snap.
Sorry, did I call you out, Libby?
Libby, if you didn't hear that, Miss Rebecca said, don't worry, Kelly. You're probably still ahead of Libby.
Oh man.
Funny.
Fighting words.
Poor Miss Libby.
Sorry, it was just too easy.
That was cute. I'm sure she's giggling. All right, so I put foam mainly just behind the branches on these branches, not the leaves, because that way you'll be able to layer them a little bit better. Libby just said, Rebecca. All right. And I love this too, that like you're looking at a stamp in the set differently, right? Just because we have one branch doesn't mean we can't have it do different things. And then I'm just going to go ahead. I kind of just lay the branch down towards my card base so I know where to trim. Cute, cute, cute.
So cute. All right, I'm catching up.
Libby says I'm not wrong though. So, you know.
Again, on the handout, I listed what I popped up and what I didn't, just so you guys know, in case you're in catch-up mode like Kelly.
Really?
I have another one in here. I always run out of a tape runner like every single time I film. I don't know how. And then Rebecca's always like, how could you do this? And then one time she was filming on my side and it kept happening to her. And I'm like, it's like some weird vortex. Like, tape me vortex on this side. I don't know. Funny. Maybe it's the ghost. We joke there's a ghost here because when we first moved in, Mo would always look in this room and just bark.
Yeah. But yeah, we still made our craft.
No, yeah. No one was in here. She just barked. And I'm like,
Didn't stop us.
So I'm laying down my post for my bird feeder. I didn't glue it down, but I want one of my larger patches of grass to be flat behind it. So I'm just kind of getting a sense of where it will be to kind of tuck my grass there. And then also along the ground, I did the larger pile of seeds. And so I'm just going to kind of place that there. I'm going to tell you guys something fun to do with these two little flowers. So if you are working ahead and you care, wait for me. Now the post is a little too high for this card. Most of it can just hide behind the bird feeder. I like to just trim a little bit off just so it's a little bit easier to work with. And I love that you can just kind of make it work for whatever you want.
Are your branches popped?
Yes. Popped on popped.
We've been reading, Miles and I have been reading Hop on Pop. And as soon as I said that, I was like, oh my gosh.
The answer is always yes, Kelly.
Yes. Popped on popped.
So I just popped up my post and now I'm going to add some foam behind my tree, my bird feeder. Now, this is a good example, you guys, like when I'm putting together this card the second time, obviously everything doesn't lay exactly where it was. And so you can see here, I'm losing all those leaves on the right of the bird feeder. So I'm actually going to I think I'm going to tuck under a little bit, right? Like this, so that you'll be able to see it. It's okay that you don't see the point of the bird feeder. So I guess my point is don't be afraid to switch stuff up. My glue tube is still mad at me from flying with it all over. They don't like to fly, Kelly.
No, they don't.
No. And I'm like hitting the part of the evening where for some reason I can't take this foam strip off. It's going to do the assembly last because
yes.
It's the easiest part.
Yep. We're in the final stretch. So what I did with these two little flowers, oh my gosh, did I literally just lose them? They were just here. I've got birds.
Now you're doing what I did earlier.
Oh my gosh, I have birds.
Are they on the floor?
Are you kidding me? What's weird is where I shoved them. Oh my God. Look, they're inside my card, my sample card. I don't even know how that happened. Okay. What I wanted to say is what I did with these flowers is I only put a little bit of foam, which a half a foam square will work perfectly, behind the petals. And the leaves are glued flat. So it kind of makes the flowers look like they're coming at you. It's just a fun little detail. Oh, there you go. You can really see it there. That I like to do with flowers. That's all. I sometimes it's the little things.
I do that with sometimes if I have like a critter tucked in the grass.
Yeah.
I'll do that with their little head out.
That's super cute. I just posted a card I made a couple days ago inspired by this Create With Us topic. It was helpful getting the email so many days ago as I was not in a space to think of a card idea. Yay!
I love that.
Remember, you guys, those handouts are always available, so you can totally create these cards before you make them with us. But you still have to come hang out with us because we would be lonely if you didn't. So a little glue tube behind the leaves, and again, foam behind the petals. And I just think it looks cute. So just a reminder, I have Seeds the Day. My next online class is coming up May 17th. And if you can't take it live, you'll have access to the videos to take it whenever you would like. And then on May 22nd, Shari and I will be hosting another Adventures in Card Making, which if you haven't joined us for one of those are a lot of fun. We host them here on lawnfawn's YouTube channel. They are on a Thursday, I believe. Yep, Shari's shaking her head. Yes, thank you, Miss Shari. It's on a Thursday because we do voting on lawnfawn's Instagram stories on Monday. So it goes 24 hours, so midday, Monday-ish to Tuesday. And then we announce what won the polls. It's like choose your own adventure. You guys get to choose what Shari and I are going to create with, although we're being a little sneaky this month, but I'm not going to tell you what we're doing for the voting, but we are being a little sneaky in the best way.
I didn't know that.
I'm like, I want to know what this is.
Yeah.
So that's coming up on May 22nd, and there's no handout, there's no anything. It's just a laid back fun time for us to craft together. And then this summer, I am teaching exclusive lawn fawn classes as part of Firefly Farm's online Creative Crate events. And these are seriously so fun. They're open worldwide. And Trisha, who owns Firefly Farm, does such an amazing job with all of her events. And you get a big box of product and gift items and exclusive classes from me and other really fun stamping brands. And so she's hosting one in June and she's hosting one in August. And it's a lot of fun. So I would love for you guys to join me in that as well. Shari's linking all the things in the chat if you're interested in learning more. I'm assuming it's Shari. Sorry, Rebecca, if I've not given you credit.
No, it's Shari. Let's
Okay.
give credit where it's due. It's Shari.
I don't mean to leave you in the dark there.
No. We know I'm not that fast. Shari is the speed demon with fingers. She also hears the conversation in the background easier than, Yeah, she's just quicker. Shari's better. I admit it.
All right, so before I put my sentiment in here, I am going to add a little chirp and a little, a couple music notes. Ooh, why did it just go blurry on me? Hello, Missy, Melissa. Thanks for popping in. I just said Missy, and I'm not 100% sure she goes by that, so I doubted myself.
And I've also lost a bird.
Check inside your card base.
Yeah, there we go.
That's where they like to hide tonight.
Somewhere in my mess here, I'll find her.
Nope.
Rebecca's like not into fixing this mess.
I'm not gonna be over on that side to look.
Oh, that's right. You don't want to be on camera.
I will not be seen.
I'm sure there's a bird somewhere.
I will find it tomorrow.
Oh, I'm really going.
Oh, man, he just flew away.
He did. He flew away.
He's off living with the parakeets.
Yep. That's it. There you go.
Okay, let's see. Darn.
The last time you were missing a cloud or something from Great Withers, I found it on the floor.
Yeah. Oh, I found the magnetic platform.
Oh,
Down here, it's just the same exact color as our floor.
oh goodness.
That is funny.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
And for the sentiment, you guys, I also just word fedied. I did a lot of repetitive techniques tonight because I knew we were coloring and watercoloring, and it's a lot sometimes, and I don't want to ever overwhelm people.
Oh, wait. Is that? I found one that's not colored. I guess I could use that. There's someone else crafting with us tonight, also roaming their craft room right now, looking for something, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. As I say in my classes, Kelly, check your boobs, check your sleeves, check the floor.
Yeah, check your sleeves. Put your hands up. No, I don't see it.
Check the hair.
Oh, no, that's a foam square on your sleeve.
No.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I'll find
Easy
it
to
tomorrow.
easy. We'll find it tomorrow.
Hold on.
Oh.
No, that's the stamp. I'll find it tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll just color. I'm just going to color this little guy. It's my favorite bird. It's the flying one.
Aww.
So I got to color another one. They're easy to color.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, somebody just said, Kelly, I love how real this is. I keep losing stuff, and I'm happy to see I'm not alone.
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah.
No, this is us.
Just like I'm gonna say like 80% of our crafting time is just spent trying to find something.
Honestly, yes.
Oh, easily. Well, my favorite was when Dave came in here looking for something in yesterday.
Oh yeah,
he called me. He's like, "Nope, not going in there. Tell me where to go."
Yeah, people just walked in this room and walked right back out because we were making cards for the summer release, and
it's a
little too chaotic in here for people.
It's a bit scary.
And I also added some blossoms to these branches as well, because I've just been having so much fun with my liquid pearls that are probably at least 10 years old, still going strong.
Yeah, the yellow ones I use, they must be.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it predates lawnfawn for sure.
I was going to say, I'm saying 10 years and being kind. These are literally probably from the store I managed that closed before Chris and I started dating, and we're going to celebrate 13 years this summer. So
yeah, mine are probably 17 years or something.
Yeah.
And they still
work. Oh my gosh, so cute. So
oh my goodness. I love it. Okay, I'm going to be able to show mine in a second here.
I know it's a lot of teal, but I was loving it. I was loving the teal.
Never too much.
I mean, that is my answer too, but
the other thing too is like someone could do a pink or purple. You could do the same idea with a different color palette.
Switch up colors.
There's a question here for you, Jen. She wants to know if you'll be getting more binder dividers.
Yeah, the binder company that I use went out of business, so I have to resource them, and that is a summer project.
So eventually.
Yeah,
I found out in the fall and the spring is such a busy time for classes and events, but I actually really hope to find a local source. But
that'd be nice.
Yeah, I would love that.
All right, I'm still going, but almost there.
Well, you sound like Melissa, who just posted, I'm frantically assembling, but I just have to say real quick, this has been so much fun. I love it.
This really has been such a blast. This went by so fast because I actually wrote my husband, he's like, oh, how'd class go? I'm like, oh, no, we're still going. I just texted just to see how they were.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, it's a long class. I'm like, I was like, wait, really? Because it's gone by so fast.
It takes a while when we get into the watercoloring and the coloring.
Yeah.
While Kelly is assembling, I just want to bring up this slide just so you guys can see. Like I mentioned, the Seeds the Day online class, you can still sign up, is May 17th. And again, I totally know this time of year is busy with graduations and such. So if you can't make it May 17th, you can always take the class at your own pace. And like I mentioned, totally different coloring guides, different techniques, different card layouts. We're going to make 3 cards, and then you get ideas for 2 bonus cards. And then you see here, we've got Adventures in Card Making coming up on May 22nd. Right after this live, you could actually look under the live section on Lawnfawn's YouTube channel, and you'll see the May 22nd one coming up, and you can tap the little bell to be reminded when we go live. And then in June and August are those Creative Crate events. Again, Trisha does such an amazing job and is so creative in her Creative Crate events. I mean, look at how cute these logos are for them. She has like this whole camp theme, and you get badges for doing the challenges, and you get like, I don't know what the real name is because I wasn't a Girl Scout, but like the sash thingy thing you wear. Like you don't get an actual one.
Yeah, Katie was a Girl Scout.
What is it called?
It's a sash.
Oh, it's just a sash.
Oh, it is a sash. Okay. You don't get an actual one, but you get a paper one, and you can like cut out the badges and put it on it. It's adorable. Again, Trisha just comes up with so many amazing ideas. Yeah. Shari just says, I want badges and a sash.
Right.
So definitely check out all of these fun things. I would absolutely love for you to join me in all of them, or some of them, or one of them. They're just a lot of fun.
Yes. And I am almost done. I am adding my last details. And
I can't wait to see. You're on camera, Kelly. So when
okay.
Just I just like big. So when you're done, you can show us your cards.
Surprised by my own face. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love them.
Right.
So cute. I love your watercoloring. It came out so good.
I'm really happy with it. And the frame, it looks so cool. In person, it's kind of hard for it to capture on camera, but
it looks so much better in person, like the 2 colors layered like that.
It's like so that fun. Patina, like it looks like the A, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's like supposedly that kind of stuff is coming back in. I don't know if you've heard that.
Look at
like
me,
that, like
trend setting before it's.
I know that's so like
that never happens. So
like
Kelly, remind us when the June release is.
So the June release is, well, let's talk about in May. So we have our Inspiration Week coming up actually this next week, and our big giveaway is on Sunday, although you can comment all throughout the week. But each day we're going to be featuring this release that we just did today, the April release with all the bird feeders and all that cute stuff. And each day we have a different theme. So like there's a birthday theme day, there's an interactive theme day. And what's really fun about that is you can go to each day and let's say like, okay, I really have to make a birthday card. I have some things from this release. You can click that and you'll see like, 8 different card samples from the design team in that like birthday theme or thinking of you theme or whatever the theme that we're doing for that day is.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's super fun. So you'll have to check that out, and we'll have giveaways, the big giveaway on Sunday, on Mother's Day. And then, but once again, that goes throughout the whole week. You can keep commenting, and then each post has a giveaway as well. So that's going to be super fun. And then our release date for our summer release is June 19th, which means that we'll start our Inspiration Week I think maybe June 12th, I think, or June 11th. And so that's going to be so fun.
June 11th, I think.
Yeah, June 11th.
Yeah.
We'll start Inspiration Week for that. And we're so excited about the summer release. It's super, super fun. I think you guys are going to love it. And so we're just pumped about that. And then we'll have our fall release in August. So
and part of that June release, we will have another Create With Us that we will also launch that day. We haven't come up with the date for that yet. I have to chat with Kelly. But we'll have another Create With Us. So again, you can get the downloadable handout right on release day. So if it might help sway your purchasing or kind of give you something to focus on, knowing that you're going to join us and you'll actually use, what you buy, you can kind of use that as guidance too. Yay. Oh, you know what? If any pet needs attention, you drop everything and just give them attention. That always comes first.
Yes, always. I know if Mo wasn't sleeping, she'd be on my lap right now. She is like asleep. I wonder if I could show you guys. I'm attached to the internet, but Can you guys see her down there?
A little bit over more. There you go. Oh, look at her. Oh, she is passed out.
Oh yeah. You got Mo's chair and then Miles's chair next to her.
I love it. That's so fun. Somebody's asking, when is the holiday release, Kelly? I'm not sure if you've nailed down that date yet.
We don't have an exact date yet, but there'll be fall in August and then winter holiday in September. So more towards the end of September. So that's our general times. We don't have exact dates just yet, but all depends on when everything arrives. But those are our general timelines for everything. So it's going to be fun, and we've been hard at work on the fall release, and we're getting on the winter one too. But there is some cute stuff, some stuff that was actually inspired by a Create With Us and some things that people asked for. So I know. So I think you guys are going to love it.
I love it. That's so fun. Well, thank you guys. So many of you took time out of your day or your evening to join us. I bet there's a bunch of you that are watching this on replay, and we appreciate that as well. And I see some people are still scrambling to finish their cards. The good thing is you can actually rewind this video and like slow us down. So no worries if you're still working on your cards. Totally okay. We really hope you will tag lawnfawn and Jen Shirkus so we can see what you've created. At being the teacher in me, I've taught so many in-person classes over the years. That is the one thing I miss about being online, is I want to see what you've created. I can't walk around the room and see what you've done. So definitely, please share. Are you doing Christmas in July, Kelly?
We are not doing Christmas in July at lawnfawn. If you can't tell, we are not ahead of the game at lawnfawn.
We're lucky we do Christmas in December.
Yeah, we are flying by the seat of our pants here. And I love that people do Christmas in July, but we don't have anything for Christmas in July. That being said, we do have a ton of amazing Christmas things. And if you're looking for Christmas in July, it might be kind of fun to go back to a much older set maybe, or a set you always wanted but just didn't get at the time. If you really wanted something new for Christmas in July, or you could shop your stash too. But we won't have anything brand new then, because like I said, here at lawnfawn, we're always just
all good.
We're the people who lose their bird stamp, you know? So
I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh, so fun. Thank you guys so much for all of your sweet comments and for joining us. And yeah, like Julie says, it's so nice to connect with crafty people. We totally agree. I mean, I was looking forward to this all day, you know, even last week. I actually thought it was last week. I was like already, and then I was like, oh wait, I'm a week early. But thank you. And thank you, Shari, for linking all the things in the background. And Rebecca, thanks for being there as well. We look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Have a good night.
Yes, thank you all for being here. Thank you so much. Bye.